What's going on, guys? Kaiger here. Did you know Gladiator and Berserker both have 3 dodges, same as Windchaser? Also, did you know that Marksman now has a sneaky 10% extra crit? We're going to walk through all the changes that have happened to the classes over the last couple patches that haven't been stated anywhere. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, I'm going to go over all the changes. Some are going to be old changes that we knew about, but still weren't mentioned anywhere, and others will be newer stuff. Starting with some of the easier stuff, and this is one that wasn't changed but got updated text. This yellow text right here, when it hits it, Soul Blast for Berserker, which Gladiator generally uses, knocks up if it hits someone. I'm sure everyone knows this. It always did this, but originally it never said this. You just had to know it did it. This happened a year ago. It's not anything special. Nothing actually changed, but the text was updated. Said nowhere. Now, this yellow text is generally going to be keywords, as you see Berserker right there, and any gameplay specific text, as you see right here, adventure. Now, this one right here is interesting because this right here is Berserker, which has 3 dodges, as you see. Gladiator, I have screenshots and gameplay from 11 months ago where Gladiator had 2 dodges. When I look at my stuff from 10 months ago, they have 3 dodges. Says it nowhere on any of their skills or passive, but they have 3 dodges. Within the last 2 patches, either for 1.41 or 1.42, 1.40 or 1.41. We just had 1.42. Berserker also got this update, now has 3 dodges. This is going to get a lot stronger nowadays that we have the cat pet that refreshes all dodges, which will give you all 3 back. Next is Marksman. Marksman and Windchaser both got general overhauls early last year. As an example, Marksman got the Sky Shatter to get cooldown on their a multi-arrow. Windchaser got a full revamp. Used to have this kick move that you could do all the time. That just was an extra movement skill, and if it hits someone, you got bonus damage on your next skill. A lot of changes. All 3 of their first 3 skills got totally overhauled. Much better now, but that was known. It was posted. Everyone knew about it. Over here, number 3 for Marksman, character's crit value plus 10%. Either last time I have any footage of checking this is 1.39, well 1.38. So this either happened 1.39, 1.40, 1.41. But it would be nice if they told us these things. Close up of that. Dragon Blood transformation. This is one that I can't tell was always an issue because I primarily used it as a PvE thing. But here, no yellow text to show the update, but right here, it does damage around you. That much has always been the same, but and self damage reduction plus 10% within 2 seconds after causing damage. Refreshes every time damage is dealt. So this also gives you a damage taken down effect as you hit people with this AoE. And if you use energy, this part has been the same ever the entire time. You spend energy to make it last longer, but now instead of just damage, now making it last longer also gives you that minus the 10% damage reduction for longer as well, which is very, very powerful. I really wish we knew about this. Also, this is a change that either happened at 1.40 or 1.41. I'm going to have to check all the skills after every update. I checked everything at 1.42 that just happened, and no additional changes have been made. Flame Rush right here, this is the one that made me want to do this video, and that's because when I made the video the other day, this taunt effect, as you see a keyword, it's in yellow, this was not originally here, which it always did the jump forward, always did the damage, always gave you more energy based on the number of people you hit, and it does a small stun once you hit them. But now you are immune to control effects from that target, and they deal less damage to allies around you. Sky Rush got a very small thing. I mean, it's kind of big for Dragon Fighter, but right here at the end, and character gains immunity to knockback and knock in the air effects for 4 seconds. Everything else has been exactly the same. Both of these skills got updated either in 1.40 or 1.41. Last is down, well, not last for this class is going to be Dragon Roar, which is very similar to the Soul Blast change, which always did this, but now it says it. It used to just say gets rid of debuffs, but now it says gets rid of debuffs and control effects, which it always did this, but now it actually says it. And last, we have several changes to Craftsman. This one happened way back in March, I believe, either February or March. And that is they added this movement speed bonus to Blasting Sparkle. Also wasn't mentioned anywhere, but this 30% movement speed for 2 seconds was added without anything posted anywhere. Scorching Blast. This is a huge change, and I'm sure most of you didn't know this. 2 major changes were added to this. It always did major damage. It always did the movement speed. But 25% chance to silence for 2.5 seconds is massive. This is a very long range skill. This is a very fast skill. It hits really hard and has a super low cooldown of 12 seconds. So 12-second cooldown, you can get that down with wind and stuff like that. To have a 25% chance of 2.5 second silence is pretty powerful. As well as when it hits, it will interrupt the adventure's action. If they're charging up a spear drop, if they're in the middle of any kind of skill, I've tested this. If they're in the middle of casting multi-arrow, you will just cancel it. Bang, you're out of your multi-arrow. That's very powerful. The only thing I haven't tested this with is the other skill, which is Netherfire, which its main thing right here is this heavy arm effect. It always did damage. It got an update 3 or 4 months ago where now it gets a shield, which is very powerful. Now this part, when released, you are immune to stun, silence, and other effects. The stun and silence is ridiculous on its own, but this other effects is pretty ambiguous, and I need to do more testing on it. This other effects, I want to see if this stops. When it hits, it interrupts the adventure's action. It's not just the silence. It already says it stops the silence, but does it stop the skill cancel of Scorching Blast? So armor still has trouble in PvP because Netherfire just does this area, and they can either go back to the sides or walk through you to get out of the AoE. But major changes with Heavy Arm and the 2 Scorching Blast changes, they're going to get better in PvP. And both of these were pretty recent, either in 1.40 or 1.41. The last one is a change between both of the summons. Now we'll start with the spiders, Mechanary Creation. When it hits an enemy, it reduces their movement speed by 30% and attack by 10%. It always did the movement speed, but the minus attack used to be the cannon's effect. They moved both effects over to the spiders, and now the cannon gives you an attack boost, which is definitely a boost. Like I said, they just moved it over and then gave this a different ability. But this was also either 1.39, 1.40, or 1.41. I went back and, for all of these changes, I went back and looked at all of my footage that I have, and this is the time range where these changes could have happened. Let me know what you guys think down below, and if there's any other changes you think need to be addressed. The only other one, two things to leave you with before I end the video is there was a change, 1.37, 1.38 I believe it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if I go back in my footage I can find it. But they made a change where now break works in PvE. I've talked about that in my most recent Stats Explained video, but some people still don't realize this. Players who have been around a long time, break does work in PvE now. It's been that way for a while, as well as fairies critting. Fairies can crit, but not every fairy can crit. I'm working on a definitive list, and I'll let you guys know once that's done. But some fairies can crit, which is pretty wild. Till next time, guys.